Admiration would definitely be the reason to why I think our connection is so strong right now.
When we show up as our genuine selves and we reach out ourselves, the girls are attracted to that.
Hey,
Luxury is missing.
Yes.
Right? I think a lot of people see the name of the brand. Constellations are made of more than one star.
Very true.
Right? So I think
speak a word. Okay. This next episode, I am beyond excited to share. The designers of Jeofroi, Jeofroi and Roy, are talking to me about how they started the business, how they became partners. And I think this is, first of all, it's hilarious, number one. Number two, we really get into just how partnership works, how you can connect with people, and how you can make just these bonds in an authentic manner, because we're missing it. And we really get into the nitty-gritty of this. So watch, listen, let me know what you think. Cannot wait. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Real Connect podcast. I'm your host, Tamika Carlton, and today we are in for a special treat. I have Jeofroi and Roy here from Jeofroi. I'm so excited because I feel like this is going to be a very good, really solid, great conversation. First of all, I just want to say that when I first met y'all, like the energy was just very authentic.
Thank you.
And I think that's very hard to come by. Right, these days. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make sure that we start off there, because most people are out here being a little phony and fake. Right. Okay, and I think especially considering what you do. Mm-hmm. Okay,
yeah.
But before we get into all of that, please tell me, how did you two meet? Wait a minute. It's the look though. How did that happen?
So really, the short of it is we met in university.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But we both were studying fashion at a prestigious Southern art school. And I had just got a brand new car that my mom got me to go to college in. And I pull into this spot, and then this boy and his friend also pull into the spot next to me, dangerously close to my car.
And to the new car.
To my new car.
I will say he was parked in two parking spots.
But also, my car was new. So
you were like, I'm taking
yes,
up.
I
Okay.
need this space.
I can't.
So I literally shoot him a death stare, and I'm like, if this bitch hits my car, like this, and I was just standing there like watching them, and he's like staring at me.
Because I was like, let's do it.
So that was the first time I think we ever like saw each other. And then we had the same teacher, but a different time of taking the class. And the teacher goes, hey, like, I think you should meet this person.
Oh, wow.
We were doing this.
It was Unexpected Beauty project, and we both were inspired by mode at the same time.
Wow.
And the teacher was like, oh my gosh, do you know this gentleman named Roy? And I was like, no, I don't. And she was like, you should meet him. And I'm like, I already have enough friends. Like, I don't really care to meet anybody else. Like, I'm good. And she was like, no, come to my class at this time. He's going to be here. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I walked in, and lo and behold, it was the guy that was parked in two
So did you
spots.
remember? Did you two remember?
It was probably 3 to 4 days max of like separation.
Yeah. And I mean, like, not to say that it wasn't a very diverse university, but there was a few of us.
There were not a lot of dolls.
Yeah.
It was literally us.
If I saw you, I saw you, you know, and it was like either it was then we were going to be friends or we weren't going to be friends, one of the two.
But, and you were like, at that point, we ain't going to be friends.
Right. I mean, like, he couldn't park in one parking spot. I was like, what is going on?
So it actually ended up that we met, and we like, I think we just kind of put everything aside.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, let's genuinely get to know each other. And that night there was a Halloween party. And I was like, hey, do you guys want to go to this Halloween party? And our school was throwing it, and we ended up going, and we had a great time. I fell off a table.
Yes, he did.
Oh my God.
I laughed my ass off the whole night.
That like cemented our friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been like
I feel like
ever
you
since.
two like have a really, really good, solid friendship and just partnership as a whole. I think what would you say, because obviously you were friends before you became partners in fashion. Like what would you say like made you mold together?
I think admiration.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah, it would definitely be
Admiration.
that. I thought about that on the way here.
I
Wow.
think that
Yeah.
we and I'm speaking for myself. This is never a conversation that we've had. I think Jeofroi has an essence and an energy that I admire so much.
Oh my gosh.
And I think I am just generally not a hater. And when I meet someone that I admire, I'm like, okay, what?
Right.
This quality that I like about you, I want it to rub off on me. I want to be
that.
around you. And I think for me, it's admiration.
Yeah, I would say the same. I
Really?
think first meeting Roy and hearing him talk and how eloquent he was and how he carried himself and learning about like his upbringing, where he was from, his mother, I was like, what is going on? Like, I thought I had an amazing like upbringing, but like Roy's story is so fascinating and he just was so like fluid with like a lot of things that you normally are not fluid with. So I guess the reason to why I think our connection is so strong right now, for sure. And I mean, like, he's a doll. Like, who
I mean, both of you are. First of all, I'm like, when y'all walked in today, I was like, Hunty, this is me, okay? Because I cannot, like, y'all are so cute and like so like lights, like
Thank
genuinely.
you.
Like I don't say that very often.
you.
Like
Thank you.
when I first met you, I felt like you truly, and I said this at the beginning, you were just real.
Thank
Like
you.
you weren't trying to put off any type of finesse. And I think that is so common in what you do, or at least as an
definitely.
outsider looking in, because I ain't the
mean,
fashion guru, okay?
But you have the
you're-
style.
You know what
Henry.
hello, tell
You
somebody,
have
okay?
it. It's there.
Sprinkle me, okay?
Right.
But no, for real, like I feel like in the fashion industry, and first, before we get into that too,
Yeah.
like how did you get started being partners and saying, we got the skills to create something?
Well, I think, again, with admiration being the base, also a hate of a corporate job.
Yeah, very much that.
And-
Yeah.
Very
At
much.
the time, one of our very dear friends made it really big in fashion. And I think that sometimes you don't realize what's possible until it is literally right next to you.
yeah.
And you kind of go in, specifically in an artistic realm, right? It's like you kind of go in, usually your parents are rich or you have some sort of connection. And if it's not those things, you kind of are lucky enough to be able to go in as a dreamer.
Yeah.
But you come out in that same way and people, it's like, what, you end up doing tattoos or you end up doing something that is adjacent but not necessarily what you want to do. So we were lucky because one of our dear friends, we literally watched him do it.
From like
right?
the beginning up until now.
Yeah. And it was like one of those things where we're like,
We can do this.
if our good Judy is doing it, we can do
we
it.
can do it.
And I think, again, it's just admiration. Jeofroi can drape with his eyes closed, facing backwards in the dark, right?
Well, how did you even find that out? Because I feel like a lot of people don't even pay attention to other people.
Well,
See?
well,
Come on with the
listen.
story, okay?
I will say this. In college, I've always said, when I got to college, I said, I'm going to be friends with people that I aspire to be like. If I feel like you are ahead of me, I'm going to figure out how you got to that point in the most respectful way, build a friendship with you, and then I would love to grow with you. So when I got to my university, I met our dear friend, and then along with Roy. When I saw how advanced they were in certain techniques, I was like, oh, no. Like, my parents not paying all this money for me to be average. So it was more of like, I'm intrigued by you. Like, I want to like learn what you've already known, and we can help each other out in that nature. But yeah, I think that definitely.
I mean, I said both of y'all, one thing that I want to just pinpoint is you said like you don't have hate for people. Like
No.
when you recognize that someone is great, you're like
give credit.
Yes.
I'm like, bestie.
Yeah.
Yes. You said the same thing. You saw how elevated what he was doing was, and you were like, I want to be a part of that. I think that's very important for people to recognize that, like, when you see things, don't hate, be a part of it.
Exactly.
Like, cuddle up close.
And that's
Okay.
literally what we did.
You know?
Yeah.
Right. Like,
Literally.
like,
But I think also to add to it, Roy also was already in the industry before he came to university. So
Okay.
he was already in that fast-paced environment. He already knew what people were looking for. So coming to university, I didn't know that I needed to intern. And Roy was like, we have to be in New York all summer.
Also, at that point, nobody had interned. That wasn't a thing.
Really?
And when I went in, I was like, I'm going to school in Georgia.
Right.
Like, as a New Yorker, it's like, we don't. Can I curse on you?
Yes, please. You didn't already done that.
We don't give a fuck about. We don't give a fuck about anything that's not New York. So it's like I can't come back to New York and be like, "Hi, I went to school in Georgia." They're gonna be like,
they're gonna be like,
okay, whatever.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. So the only way I felt that I could supplement that was by interning. And at the time, my best friend, she had a connection at. Wilhelmina Models, and that was the first internship I took. And then when I came back again, when I ended up going to school, I was just surprised that nobody was interning. And I was like,
Wow.
I'm interning. And I told my best friends that they were interning. And they, caught on. And then after that, all of a sudden interning became a thing for the school.
Well, I love that too, because like you're passing on the knowledge. Like far too often people are like, let's hold things to the chest because I want to keep it for self. But like it's a beautiful thing to see that you expanded the knowledge. Okay. So y'all obviously admire one another. I can see why. You started
to say.
No, for real. You started the company or you came together and you're like, we can do this. What does that look like?
I mean,
You're just like, it started in 2020, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're like,
come on, brand knowledge. We love that. We love that. We love that. Wait, does she know us?
started in 2020. Jeofroi.
Yes.
Love the name.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Joint of the two of you, right?
Yes.
I would imagine joint names. Like, how did that, like, I just feel like there's so many people that are missing the key. They have people next to them that they could be partners with, but they're not paying attention. Like, when was it where you're like, you know what, we got this, the two of us together?
Yeah. I think it goes to more of letting your selfish ways go and letting go of what you imagine your life to be and open up that door to what it really could be. And I think for me personally, when Roy came to me about Jeofroi, I was like, girl, I'm good. Because I had been, building up my clientele here in Atlanta, here in the South, just like working after graduation. And when he proposed this to me, I was like, no, Roy, like you have your own brand. I have my own brand. We have this idea of what they taught us, like after you graduate, build your own brand, move to New York, it'll happen, And he just phrased his wording in a way to where it touched me. And I was like, let me meditate on this, let me see, let me pray on it. Let me talk to my family, my support system and see what that looks like. And after meditating on it, I was like, let's do it. Because it's like, if two people are going to join together, who is it going to be besides us?
I mean, real talk. Like, y'all have a good
I'm trying to
time.
be big-headed or better than anyone, but it's like, I know I respect his aesthetic. I've always respected it.
I respect yours.
Thank you.
I love yours.
And I was like, those two forces together could really dominate the world.
I mean, real talk.
And here we are.
I mean, constellations are made of more than one star.
Very true.
Right. So I think
Speak a word.
it's true. And I think that it's like, I'm good at what I'm good at, but I'm not good at everything. But I also within that, I don't trust everybody.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, who can I do this with? Who I admire, who I actually trust, who can pick up in a spot where I lack and vice versa. Right.
Yeah.
And I think that is the thing is like what I have realized. I was a personal assistant for a very big celebrity. And what I realized with her is she had a team.
Yes.
It was if you really knew her, you would realize how much it's not her
Just her.
and how much it's the team, right?
Correct.
It's like we pause the camera into too glam. It's
Correct.
like, and you see these people and you think it's them, but it's really the team.
Really not. Listen.
And I think that based off of just my background and the experiences that I've had, I've always seen a team. And I couldn't imagine moving forward in what I was doing without developing a team. And specifically having someone who, again, had a lot of the things that I don't have to really balance out what I imagined myself to do and really in turn imagine us to do.
Right.
Correct.
Right? Because it's like you need that. And I think specifically in art even more so, depth is so important.
It is.
And we talked about this prior. It's like the connection. It's like when you see it, we want you to connect to it, not only like in like a monetary way, but also like depthfully, and that only comes through the story of what I feel more than one
that
person.
and the energy behind it. It's
Yeah,
like
very
the
true.
visual aesthetic, the balance of the two of you, and just the energy of the creation. It's like it's more than just this creative endeavor. It is the merging of two minds that are connected on a level that is beyond, right? And it's like it's not just the clothes. The clothes are a result
Exactly.
of the connection.
Very much
right? So I love that. Being in the fashion industry, I would imagine it's not always easy. I find you both to be very...
It's never easy.
In conclusion. Okay.
It's never easy.
It's the devil.
You know what? I can't. But being in the fashion industry, the two of you are very authentic.
Thank you.
And as an outsider looking in, it feels like that is not always the case within. How do you stay grounded to continue your craft and continue to show up as you, even though people may want you to mold to something else?
Well, I think this is where the partnership really
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Because literally, if it was not for Jeofroi, I would.
over it.
One thing I hate is a brand new bitch and a fake bitch. like literally, like I can't.
And I love him.
And you're like, I love this random bitch. I just talked to her.
No, literally, I'm like, is this the same girl who wrote us the email and now we see her in person? She's not talking.
And I'm like,
should I? I'm like, should I go up to her? And Jeffrey's like, no. He's like, just leave it, keep it cute. And I'm like, girl. So it's like that. The partnership is needed because I think that for myself, having, and again, I'm very lucky to have the experiences I've had. I could easily flex, with my eyes closed in the dark. But I just feel like that's tacky and that's corny. And
what are you going to get out of it?
Exactly.
For what?
It's
Exactly.
like, well, and I also think there's like more longevity to not flexing because the flex is in the work.
Hello.
Okay.
This part.
The flex is in the
flex
work.
is in the work.
And can we just give kudos to you all? Because how many volumes or lines have you done?
We've done four.
Well, five.
Five.
Really. Yeah, we're going on our sixth, but
yeah.
it's titled our fifth volume.
I mean, that's wild. Like, clap it up, y'all. Okay? Like, for real, that's great.
Oh my gosh, that is major.
It's gaggy. It's gaggy. For sure.
Real life.
Wow.
And you have dressed some really phenomenal people that are well known. Like, how has that come about? Has it been based off of connections? Has it been? Yes.
Well, what's funny is that
I'm lost for words. I'm sorry.
it's funny because it's like we find when we show up as our genuine selves and we reach out ourselves, the girls are attracted to that.
Hey, can you preach that one more again, okay?
When you are your genuine self, the girls are attracted to that.
Listen, the people want that. Yes.
I was gonna say when you try to mix and mingle things that should not be in the circle, that's when things start to.
Okay, let me get some elaboration on that, if that's a word, elaboration. Okay.
Yes.
It's going to be a word because this is your podcast.
Okay, collaboration, elaborate.
Yeah.
So what does that mean when you mix and mingle things that don't actually
So I would say this. We're taught a certain way in university how to go about running a business, how to go about getting press moments. And, we always thought that you should have this middleman to make this happen or that person to make it happen. And I wouldn't say we were lax in that area, but we were very comfortable in that area. So when we removed all of these entities that were stopping us from getting where we wanted to be, and we showed our authentic selves, this is when things started to unfold for us. And it's just a new muscle that we've been working recently to really drive that connection with people in the industry, and it's been very beneficial for us. So
that's awesome.
I think we're in a point right now in our careers where if we can do it, we'll do it. If we don't know how to do it, we're gonna make it happen. You know,
like you figure it out.
Exactly, because I think again, the partnership, it's two of us. It's not one of us.
Right.
And if I can't think about it, he has to think about it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we do have a team on ground 24/7 that helps us here and there, but ideally, recently we've just been pushing ourselves to limits that we've never pushed before, and it really has just been,
and it's working.
It is. It really is. And we're
That's like the wild part. I think that nobody cares about your shit more
Right.
than you care
Than
about
you.
That is so.
And I
Yes.
think that sometimes we think that if we pay people to care about it, that they'll care. But
And
it's
it
like,
doesn't.
No.
I also got paid to go to work for a very long time, and I
And you really
hated
did
it.
give a damn. You really
I really didn't care. I really did not care. So it's like when you think about it, it makes sense. So nobody cares about our work more than us. Nobody can advocate for it.
Right. It's like who
Exactly.
can tell the story better than you?
Exactly.
Who can connect about the brand better than you?
Exactly.
Who can like energetically approach the everything better than you? Okay, can I just take a break because it's smelling so good up here? Okay? I'm like, why y'all smell
We are
so
not plugging our fragrances unless we get paid.
And a sponsorship. Yeah. Because I've already started the email.
Wait a minute. Okay, so earlier you both said, well, you said that there are things that, you know, you kind of, it sounds like you kind of call on Jeofroi to help with where you may not have the expertise. Like, what is that?
Mental health. Because I'm always hanging on by a thread.
Listen,
Literally, and the thread is like always like it's breaking. It's breaking
it is
now.
not- like it's tethered and like
Literally, it's like always. And I
Oh
think,
my gosh.
am I lying?
He's like, oh, no.
Not lying.
And it's like if I need someone to, I'm literally always on the ledge. Like it's like I think my best quality is also my worst quality. I'm an emotion ocean.
Yeah.
So it's
I
like
love that emotion ocean.
literally I can watch something and ask my boyfriend, I'm crying every movie we watch. He's like, that wasn't even sad. I'm like, oh my God, it was just
Okay, but wait a minute. How does that emotion help the brand though?
well, because I think that I'll hear a song and emotionally I just become attached and I can see it.
And he sees it. He does.
And I will call Jeofroi
he
and I will
will paint
sell
the
it to him.
picture. It will be 2 a.m. in the morning. He'll be blowing my phone up and he's like, Jeofroi. He was like, I just had a vision. I'm like, girl,
Not again.
what is it? And he goes on, and I'm like, oh, wow.
That's actually kind of okay.
And I think it's just the way that he presents it. It's the wording. It's the storytelling. It's the song. He's like, now play the song at 3:10. You hear that part? Like, what do you feel on that part? And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl. Like, that just ate me up, you know?
Because I mean, isn't that why we're here?
Right.
Like, don't we want to be like emotionally like in love and like, you know, when someone speaks, don't you want to be falling off of one word to the next?
Exactly.
It's like, what is like?
Yes,
that's
I
what
do.
we're here
Actually, I
for.
wasn't ready for that, but yes, I do want to be just like posting through.
Yeah.
I mean, that's life. That's the beautiful thing about
It
life.
is.
You build your own fantasy, and I say that all the time. I live in my own world. I live in my own fantasy. And to piggyback what he was saying, he's very emotional. I'm not an emotional person as much as he is. So I think there's times where I need to be emotional, and I have to call him to bring that emotion out of me.
That's so good.
Because I'm just like either hot or cold, and he's like, Jenny, you cannot be like that. You cannot.
I'm
And I'm
here
like,
for that.
I'm like, Roy, I don't know. Like, I can't see in between the lines.
Right.
Like, so.
Like you're very black and white.
Exactly.
And I think that this is where I was saying to you before, it's like, we don't want to be found out. Because sometimes I have to be like, okay, girl, this is the part where you pretend to be emotional. Like, this is that part.
This is it. Like,
This is it.
And I'm over there like, no,
I ain't got it in me.
ain't got
Like,
it.
what are your signs?
I'm a tourist.
Okay.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Is that like a match made in heaven?
Well, business-wise, it actually is.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't think
Business-wise-
relationship-wise, but
Business-wise, it
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm definitely more of a philosopher, and Jeofroi is very headstrong. When I
yes.
need
Taurus
to,
is very headstrong.
when we
Yes.
need to send an email
love that, though.
that is not emotionally charged, I'm like, hey, Jeofroi, here you go.
That's so funny though that you don't come off as not emotionally charged to me.
Really?
No.
I've had a lot of practice.
I will say I am on a new journey of life right now because my emotionless has stopped a lot of things for me, and I don't want that anymore. So
I feel that.
I am learning to live in the moment and not really just be in my own world 24/7 and take accountability of other people's emotions as well.
Yeah, because you know how we feel and how we interact with people impacts other people.
It really
And I
does.
think we forget that.
No.
I feel like it takes a lot for people to be authentic. It shouldn't be. It
Right.
shouldn't
It should
take
be
much
natural.
because it should just be like, I'm just here.
is me,
okay?
right?
Like, just here. Have you always been this way?
Always.
Wait a minute. I gonna be ready.
Always.
Always.
It would never change.
Yeah.
Like you recognize the value in that, just showing
Yes.
up as you.
I think as in youth, I didn't. I think that I'm very lucky to have a parent who encouraged me, who was really doing her own thing and was like, actually, you need to do your own thing too. I could see, I don't fault anybody who is not authentic because I could see how easy it could
you
be
don't
not to
fault
be.
people that are not
It's-
awesome.
I
Oh,
think-
listen
I
to
do.
me. I'm like, ugh.
I do because
Sorry,
like
y'all,
faulting
I
them.
just
it's too much. It's too much.
I mean, I feel like it's
I think
unfortunate.
It
Yes.
is.
I can have empathy,
Yeah.
but I am like, no,
But I think,
can't.
I think that with that, you also have to understand that there are choices that were presented to you that may not have been presented to them.
You're so beautiful.
Right? Like in a
But-
way, but see, this is also the
Yes.
non-emotional part about
But-
today's own thing.
Everything can be presented to everybody.
That's true.
Sometimes you don't deserve to have this for whatever reason that is. When that time comes, you will get it. And I tell him this all the time. I'm like, we're in a space for a reason. God has
Yes.
blessed us to be in this space for a reason.
Yes.
Any other designer that we love or any up and coming designer that we want to help out may not be ready to take on what
It's so
we
true.
have. Your blessing is your blessing. And I tell him that all the time, like, live in your blessing. Because if you don't, you won't be blessed anymore.
Correct.
So,
Yeah.
And I think people are faced with opportunities.
yeah.
Always.
That's
We're
true.
always faced with
true.
opportunities, whether it's like a pebble of a message or a brick wall of a message.
Yeah.
It's about whether you listen.
Exactly. What are you taking from that
Yes.
message?
What are you absorbing? And I have very minimal sympathy for those that don't listen.
Exactly.
I think that's my trauma speaking. That's why I'm like, oh, I love
I mean,
everyone.
I get it. I can look at someone and be like, oh, that's so sad. Like
Yeah.
you're lost.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, you're lost. Like I can tell. I can see it. And I want to give you a hug, but your energy is going to wipe off on me.
Not really. It's giving, I tell him all the time, your problems won't become my problems.
Okay.
So
But also,
I love you from a distance.
I'm adopting that more.
Yeah.
Right. I'm really adopting that more and understanding, like, I don't want to block my own blessings. And it's like, yes, I've been blessed with a lot of things, but I also work really hard.
Yeah.
And like you said, there were also moments where I had opportunities
you
that
missed it,
I
yeah.
could have not taken and I have taken. So definitely sitting here speaking with you, Jeofroi always at my back telling me the same thing. It's definitely, I think like he's working to get more emotional. I'm
Yeah.
working to do kind of the opposite and find a
I
balance.
feel like, and that's happened because you two are friends and partners. Like you help each other evolve.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it feels that way. Okay. What's the vision for Jeofroi?
Glamour.
In conclusion,
Money.
Wait a minute. That's it. Okay.
Also that.
Wait, the non-emotional response.
See, I'm telling you a story. He's telling you products. This is the difference. This is why I win.
the beauty of Jeofroi will give you the money for sure.
For sure.
And it's
for
already
sure.
glamorous.
Yes, it
like,
is.
It is. Like where you are is already, it's just a matter of when everybody else catches up. Like, come on, y'all.
very much
Pick up
that.
the pieces.
That's very
Okay.
true. Yeah.
I mean, no, but for real, like, what do you see? What do you foresee? Like, where do you see the two of your friendships and the partnership? And
We always talk about living. I know this is like,
I love this.
it's like we always talk about living next door to each other.
Yeah.
And like that
Not in
would-
Atlanta, though.
Oh, no, no.
Oh,
no.
okay.
Well, we'll have a home here, of course.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah.
But we always talk about, I think that we always imagine our lives really growing together.
Yeah.
And we understand like how important our friendship is. And so we always like key and like talk about, oh girl, when I live next door to you. and I'm like, oh my God, bitch, if you come and knock on my door, like
I
I
mean,
can't
that's exactly
like
what's about to happen.
literally.
No, it really is.
Literally. But I think overall, we really see the brand. Let me rewind. Luxury is missing.
Yes.
Right. I think a lot of people see the name of the brand and they think it's luxurious. But what we want to really do is kind of bring back the exclusivity, but not in a way that makes anybody feel any type of
Left
way.
out. Yeah.
Yes.
We
that's
want to
beautiful.
include you, but in the space where you are.
Yeah.
Right. And I think for us, we want to expand in a way that's not too fast. I think we see so many people take off and they're not able to handle it. And we're also in a space of understanding that the audience yields to the artist
That's
and really
true.
taking our time and developing in a way that makes sense so that we can really expand in a way that makes sense.
Why is it important for you to create luxurious items that don't leave people out? I feel like there's something there.
I think because for me as a little gay boy, I was often left out.
And think about just like how many luxury Black designers are there in our time, you know?
Yes.
I just remember so many moments growing up and like having the Vogue magazines and being like, there's not really that many Black designers that I love, but then like how excited I was when I got a Jet magazine, you know? And so it's like I saw nothing but Black people, you know? So I was like, I want to be that designer that the younger artists or the younger generation will look to, you know, where they're researching Jeofroi and they're like, I want to be like them. You know, I want to create that runway or that platform for young artists to be like, we can do that.
Definitely.
We can do luxury. We don't have to do streetwear. We don't have to do, everything doesn't have to always be inspired by hip hop. You know, everything doesn't have to always be inspired by like the most up and coming rap song or the most beautiful set of denim pieces, you know, like we love silk. We love volume. We love drama, you know. So I wanted just to create like that space for younger artists. So.
I also think like, do you ever see someone and they're so gorgeous and they have on like all the most beautiful pieces and they look like they smell good and you go up to them and they're also like so nice?
Yes.
Like, and I think that it's that feeling of inclusivity you want. It's like, not only are you gorgeous and beautiful, you're nice and you're warm. And I think that makes it the energy, that just even makes it more elevated and more luxurious.
Yes.
And I think like that's why we want to be really inclusive, is for that energy, right? It just makes it even better.
That's given. All right, y'all. I have some round table questions.
Okay.
I'm gonna speed right through you. I would. Okay. How would you describe each other's style in one word?
Ooh.
I'm giving it to you.
S&M is for Jeofroi. She loves a lacy, sexy, revealing. If her body can be out, she's gonna wear it.
Very true. And I had to rethink my outfit for today because I didn't know what I was gonna do. Right.
But also, I say that to say she has the body and we should see
it.
We should see it.
Listen, y'all be looking so fly in y'all's pictures on Instagram.
Photoshop.
Like, first of all,
impossible. Never.
Photoshop. Just kidding.
Photoshop. I cannot. Okay, you go.
I would say Clueless.
Ooh, I love that reference.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Who's more likely to spot the next big trend first?
I would say me.
I would say
Okay.
And it would be hard to convince him. Because he'd be like, no. And no, he'd be like, I'm open to it.
Wait a minute.
That's my soft no. I'm open to it as my soft no.
Right, you're like, I'm not saying no, but and you already know that he's
I'm like,
listening.
I think this color's gonna be, and he's like, I'm open to it. I'll hear you out.
I'll hear you.
Right.
Out, yeah. That's the side eye.
Right.
The side eye,
All right. Who takes longer to get ready for like an event?
Jeofroi.
Really?
Oh my God, you have to tell her a fake time for her to be on time. That's not to say I'm like, because today
I learned from the best because I learned from him.
I'm getting better. But today I was 3 minutes late. Jeofroi was 10 minutes late.
I mean, but it was, we was all late by the way today.
The thing
traffic.
Yes.
Atlanta traffic. We don't approve of Atlanta traffic, okay?
But also I want to say the thing about being cool is that you can be a little bit late and people are just excited that you're there. Yeah, not in this situation because we love you and we want to see you on time. But
like, we're here. Okay?
We're happy to be here with you.
Okay, this is a good one, I feel like. If you could swap closets with any designer or celebrity, who would it be? Ooh. Right. Think on it. Ding, 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 ding. Make it good.
I don't want to. I feel like my answer is kind of corny.
Who is it? I already have mine.
Go ahead, say yours. Let me think on mine a little bit.
Teyana Taylor.
Ooh, I could actually, that makes a lot of sense.
I just know for a fact that she has some.
You would be all up in that closet, okay?
Ooh. No, you would eat that.
That would be good.
I would say, wow. I would say Lauren Santo Domingo of Moda Operandi. Only because the excess there, like she was in a couple years back at the Met, she wore this like Oscar de la Renta dress that nobody could get. Like it's like I feel like her access is like kind of crazy. Like she could call and be like, hey, I need this dress.
She has the connections.
And plus she has, I mean, she's married to the heir of the Perrier fortune.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Oh, that was good. Like you dug in. Like,
well, because I'm just thinking of like, okay, I'm gonna take the wardrobe, but I also want to build on it. And who has, you know, just want to get what I want.
Aren't these good? These questions?
These are amazing.
I'm loving these.
I love it.
Okay, one more for you.
Okay.
If you could dress anyone, living or dead, who would it be?
I already know what you're gonna say.
You don't know what I'm gonna say.
Cowboy Carter.
No, Beyonce.
Oh, yes.
Beyonce
Hunty.
for sure.
Okay. I feel like that may be in the coming.
I would say Kim Kardashian because I think her influence is really. I mean, she could wear a burlap sack and you would not be able to get a burlap sack anywhere.
I mean, yeah. I'm not going to ask you what would you give her, but I feel like you would have
would
a
give her
vision. Would it
whatever
be
she-
like a dress, a
Whatever
suit?
she wants.
Yeah, whatever
I
she
think those two, we would do whatever they want.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Literally, like, I don't care what the budget is. I don't
Yes.
care how much it costs.
Yeah.
The time frame, if you want it, you got
Well,
it.
and what you two typically do is more custom pieces. Is that
Definitely.
not-
Recently, we've been doing a lot of made to order,
Okay.
like custom moments. We are in a space where we are diving more into like wholesale and
Nice.
e-commerce. So
That's
look
awesome.
out for that. Yeah.
When you to kind of start to wind it down, I feel like when you connect with people to dress them, do you look at them as a whole person and kind of visualize what they should have on, or is it like your vision?
Well, I think often we like to do that, but a lot of times there's like a prompt,
Yeah.
right? It's like,
Got
oh,
it.
hey, we're doing this. We're thinking something like this. And then because we kind of take that idea and then combine it with our aesthetic to make it Jeofroi. Because we never want you to see our piece, whether custom or not, and not know it's us.
Yeah.
I love that.
But then what we recently learned is sometimes we over deliver because we get, I wouldn't say so excited, but our minds just keeps going,
like
going.
never ending.
And what turns into 2 sketches turns into 12 sketches, turns into a whole story, you know? But yeah, we're in a space to where we are editing and.
Well, can we just end it with a great accomplishment that you just made with who was just dressed in your...
Oh, Sherry Shepherd.
Sherry Shepherd.
Shout out to Sherry Shepherd.
We
and
love
William.
her.
Sherry
And
Shepherd
Will.
is amazing.
Yes.
And she
Amazing
looks
team.
Willie.
amazing
Yes.
on that yellow dress. That yellow dress was fire. It was like divine.
Thank you so much.
So kudos to y'all. And I only know it's up from here. We had the same conversation about a year ago, and to see
Oh my gosh,
the
we
shift
did.
It's kind of crazy.
and the
It's a little gay.
accomplishments and just you continuing to grow and you and evolving is a beautiful thing to watch. So
Thank you so
I'm
much.
excited
And like
for
same
this.
for you.
Thank you. I'm so grateful that y'all came out. Thank you so
No,
much.
it's a
Thanks
pleasure.
for having
Thank you for
us.
having us.
Yes.
I love y'all. If y'all don't like, subscribe, and comment on this episode, I don't know what the issue is, but get to it and make sure you watch the next episode too. Can't wait.